with water. You want to make sure it's completely full, because if it's not full, you'll end up with a water pocket, an air pocket, which will be problematic when you're measuring. Then you're going to put a seal on top, place it into your water. If you do it well, you'll get minimal air displacement in your gas cylinder. You're going to probably want to hold this and get your partner to tighten this. Your gas cylinders should be just below the surface of the water. So just below the surface of the water. You're going to take your reaction vessel. You want to have someone drawing them. You're going to probably have 3 going at once. You're going to have another person or a stock of filter paper that's been hole punched. You're going to hole punch it. When you're doing your experiment, you're going to first take your filter paper. You're going to dip it into your liver extract, which is always kept on ice because it's an enzyme and it'll break down. Typically, when you dip it in the liver extract, you're going to want to just tap it on the side of the glass to beat off any excess liver extract to keep it consistent. But whatever you do, always do exactly the same thing with each filter paper so it's consistent. You're going to place the disc that's been dipped in the liver extract on the side of your reaction vessel. You'll notice that when I do it, I keep the filter paper on the very edge of my forceps, so that makes it much easier for me to release. If I don't do it on the very edge, then what will happen is it will be very difficult for me to release it inside the bottle. Once I have my 3 or 4 discs inside my reaction vessel, I'm then going to measure the correct volume of hydrogen peroxide depending on the experiment. So in this case, I'm going to say 5. You want to be as accurate as possible. So if you happen to put 4 in the first time, you must put 4 in every other time after that, unless you're changing the amount of substrate. Once you've measured accurately your hydrogen peroxide, you're going to place it in your reaction vessel. You want to make sure that the discs are on the top as you pour into the bottom. It's possible you might get a little bit of fizzing that begins. That's okay, it just means some of the liver extract bled off the discs into the bottom of the tube. Not a big deal. Make a note of that in your sources of air. Your contraption here, that's a rubber stopper. You took a barrel pipette. You place it in the hole, pull it through as tight as possible. You take a pair of scissors, you cut this generally long. You take this contraption you put on, you stick it on the reaction vessel, which you have 2 or 3 going. You want to make it tight. When you put this under the water, you want to make sure you have a good seal. Keep your finger on this. You'd hate for this to pop off, but it should be okay. Then you make sure that the liquid never touches the discs. You put that to the liquids on the one side, the discs are on the top. You have your partner. They're going to have their stopwatch or phone ready to go. You place this under the water so that the end of the barrel pipette is underneath the measuring gas cylinder. And then when they say go, or when you say go, they start the time. Go happens when I flip it so that the hydrogen peroxide is touching the discs and you have a reaction. At this point, oxygen gas is being produced. It comes up the tube, it displaces the water. Every 30 seconds, or whatever the experiment says, you record the amount of gas that's been displaced. At the end of 5 minutes, you're done. If you're short on time, then you might only do this part here for 2 minutes. This is the low-tech version.